doing homework?
Okay. So what I'm doing is, because there's 2 allowed attempts, just take the quiz and then figure out what the questions are so that I know what I'm supposed to focus on for. My Siri just started talking. But I take the quiz so that I can know what to focus on when I'm reading in my textbook. Also, right now, like, there's other people in my house, so I can't just play my music out loud, but I'm listening to 2000's greatest K-pop hits, a playlist from Amazon Music, because I need to brush up on my history of the art form. So, yeah, it's very in my head. I would share, but you know how it works. You know the vibes. So one thing that I do to like get the questions in my brain, because if I just read them, then they'll go in one brain cell and out the one single brain cell that I have. So I write them down to kind of solidify it in my brain a little bit. Let's see. This is my notebook for this class. I don't know if you see my face when it's covered, but I think you can. So You should be good. I'm just on a beanbag today because it's that kind of a day. And my desk is just a chair in front of the beanbag. But yeah, I think I can just go big screen. Okay. A different color pen. I'll go red today because it's that kind of a day. Okay, I think it's just me. Probably. Well, teach. Select one new skill that you will teach in your content area. What? Exciting way could you connect this lesson and its activities to your students' lives? Okay. What exciting way could you connect this lesson to its and its activities to your students' lives? Real world connection and a skill for the content area. Skill, content area, and connect activities to student lives. That's all it looks like. I just underline the things that I need to pay attention to. Probably. Two. Do a web search for new ideas to increase active student involvement. Describe at least 2 engagement strategies that you felt would work for you in your content area. We have little flies in this house. It's an infestation. Do a web search for new ideas to increase active student involvement. Describe at least 2 engagement strategies. That you feel would work for you in your content area. We'll focus on engagement strategies in this chapter.
Church in the entire world. The most pro-fertility church on the planet Earth. It's all about families, taking care of children, right? And it's the polar opposite.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? Effective teachers refuse to believe that there is any such thing as a student who is incapable of succeeding and achieving. Okay, so this one, what are your thoughts on the following statement? Effective teachers refuse to believe that there is any such thing as a student who is incapable of succeeding and achieving. Well, that one will be easy. Okay. Here's my horrible penmanship. That's what's going on over here. Question 4. Describe 2 specific ways technology. I love technology can enhance your teaching in your content area. Okay, describe 2 specific ways. Dual. Technology, not as much as do you see, can enhance your teaching. So enhance teaching in your content area. That's pretty chill. That's an opinion. I can do opinions. Okay, 5. Summarize the various testing methods you prefer. Is it prefer? Bruv. Okay. To assess student learning share at least dul and provide rationale as to why this effective, because who needs transition words at the end of the page? Effective assess. Okay. Summarize various testing methods. Talk about tested methods. I prefer, so that's preference, to assess student learning and share at least dual and provide rationale to why it's effective. I can do that. Question 6. What are the tips for appropriate? You going somewhere?
Yeah.
Where are you heading?
What I needed, I need the glasses. Yeah.
I ate them.
Yeah.
Passing all lessons? Question mark. What are the 8 tips for appropriate pacing of lessons? So this one will be a specific thing that I actually need to look for in the text, which is why I'm writing these down, because I can't focus on crap. Okay. See ya.
See you later. I'll be back.
Love you.
You writing a song?
No, I'm taking a quiz.
Love you.
No, it's okay. I get 2 attempts. This is first attempt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What are 2 warning sags your lesson is moving too slowly? Okay, what are 2 warning signs your lesson is moving too slowly? Oh, moving too slowly. Okay, what are 2 warning signs your lesson is moving too slowly? See, this is why I need to use more commas than the average Joe, because commas indicate a pause, and I need to know exactly where to pause if I were to speak the sentence aloud. See? So I believe in liberal use of commas, and then when you're nervous, because apparently people are uppity about commas and when you can use them, I just use a little dash thing, because I still need to separate. I need the pause. I need a pause. And it's not grammatically correct to have a pause, or it's ambiguous whether or not I can put a comma. Therefore, the dash is my friend. And I have to use it. I know it's not right. I know it's not good, but it's the only way that I can get my ideas across in an effective manner, in my own opinion. What are 2 warning signs? So, dual. Your lesson is moving too slowly. So we're looking for warning signs. Okay, that will be in the text. List the 5 steps to follow. Okay. List the 12 steps to follow when teaching a new skill or concept. Okay, list 5. 12 teaching a new skill. That will be in the text. That is it. 8 questions. We can do this, guys. It probably won't take 2 hours, but it probably will actually, though. I wish I didn't have work, because if I didn't have work, then I could just keep going all night long and then actually get something done, because it takes me 700 years to do anything. Okay. Oh, my mom left, so that means we can listen to music out loud. I just got a new phone, like without like the little button, you know, and it's my first time not having a button. And so I've taken a lot of unnecessary screenshots because that's just the way that it is. Terrible speaker. I should probably use the TV. Actually, I think I will do that, because nobody has time for that horrible sound. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this has been dropped in water, which is why it's a hand-me-down phone. Because other than that, it's super nice. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you just gotta break out that OG Sabrina Carpenter sound, you know? I don't know why that's in my head. Pretty sure I took my meds today, so I don't know what's up, but... Okay. I think we'll here. Then here. That's what I wanted. I don't know, maybe. Sorry. Mister? Dude, it's already been so long. Okay, there we go. That's the song we were on. Sweet. Now we are ready. Guys, can we get out of that? Can stop sharing. Sorry. I just realized it's probably sketchy. We'll be reading 7 Simple Secrets. And we are doing the quiz for chapter 3 this time around. Okay. I'm gonna just read it aloud because why not? This live stream is mainly just because I got the ADHD, so I need to feel like somebody is in the room with me in order for me to actually be effective when doing homework. So that's this. Do I look so cute? I just chopped my hair. That's why the bangs are so uneven. Yeah, feel free to point out anything you notice wrong with it, because like these little hang down pieces, I still need to cut. No, I still have things to do. Okay. Secret 3. The secret of instruction. Nifty. Make it real. I just don't see the point in why I need to know this junk. I think that to myself every day. If you say I don't learn it, that's not what the sentence says. You say if I don't learn it, then surely I will flunk. But I need a better reason for learning all this stuff. It's boring and it's pointless, so learning it is rough. And every time I'm bored in school, I think of other things, lost inside a daydream until the school bell rings, which means I haven't learned it, which means my grades are bad, which means that I'm in trouble with my mom and dad. That's not what it says. I just didn't try. Okay. With my mom and, in trouble, and my mom and dad are mad. And then I get so far behind that it's just too late to pass. So next year, I'm here again, right back in your class. I didn't get it last year. I don't get it today. Please, teacher, make it real for me so I can move on in May. That I feel on a spiritual level. I'm very behind. I don't know what it was, but it was like I was chill until I went on this trip to Jordan for like this practicum for like a week. And I just got enough behind that it was like I had like one of those weird like overwhelm moments of like freaking out. I couldn't do crap. And then yeah, I've just been trying to catch up since then. It's been like weeks and I'm just not caught up. So yeah, anyways. I feel that poem in my heart. Okay, I really do feel like it's the early 2000s though. It's just, this music's very nostalgic for my childhood, even though I've never listened to it before. Okay. When asked the question, what is real life teaching? Most teachers, it's called How to Teach for Real Life. That's the chapter beginning that I ignored. When asked the question, what is real life teaching? Most teachers will respond that real life teaching means relating to skills they teach to real life. I think I said that. They are correct partially, but they've quite possibly missed the key component in the definition of true real-life teaching. You see, many teachers teach skills they believe the students will eventually need in their lives. But the problem lies in the fact that the skills are not taught in ways that interest students. Skills? I don't understand the grammar. But the problem lies in the fact that the skills are not taught in a way that interests the students. There's the grammar. There is no link in the minds of the students to their current lives. Real life teaching means relating the skills you teach to the real lives of your students. This is important to me. It's what I'm writing my capstone on, kind of, but like on drugs. Follow us into the classrooms of two teachers, only one of whom is truly teaching in a way that relates to the lives of the students. The first teacher, Teacher A, is doing the best she can. She is not clear on the actual definition of real life teaching. The second teacher, Teacher B, understands that to teach for real life means to teach every skill based on the importance of that particular skill to the real lives of her students. Both are teaching their students about pronouns. First, let's look in on Teacher A. Teacher A this is the non-good teacher, if we're using general judgmental terms. Teacher A has the students take out their English books and open to page 24. After much balking, because that's a word people use, and squawking, the students are finally ready to proceed. Teacher A announces that today they will be learning about pronouns. She reads the definition from the text. A pronoun takes the place of a noun. I've never understood any of these things, but I will learn because I'm learning Korean. So since I actually have to learn a language that I don't just know already, like English, I'm going to actually have to learn things like what nouns and pronouns and tenses and all that jazz is. And I know what they are, but it never gelled because I'm too slow. So all of my teachers moved on before I really understood anything. And then they would like review it the next year, and then they would move on before I really understood anything. And I continued. So I understand like contextually a lot of things, but like none of it's like gelled. So we love that. We love it so much. Okay. Definition of pronoun takes the place of a noun. She then points out the list of sample pronouns below the definition. Students are instructed to either write the definition of a pronoun in their notebooks, along with the list of sample pronouns, or type the definitions into their electronic notes. Next, Teacher A writes a sentence on the whiteboard that reads, "Bobby went to the store." She then shows the students that the noun Bobby may be replaced with the pronoun he. Several other sentences are written on the board. The students are asked to replace select nouns with appropriate pronouns following this activity. The students are instructed to complete exercise A in the textbook. I'm so bored with this lesson that I can't even read the sentences in a flowy way. It's all discombobulated because I'm bored. So, evident, I guess, of Teacher A's approach. Okay. Following this activity, the students are instructed to complete exercise A in the textbook. For exercise A, they must underline the pronouns. It is interesting to note that not one student appears in any way excited or enthusiastic. Many students are talking, and Teacher A begs and pleads with some of the students to get busy. One student asks, "Why do we have to know this?" Teacher A responds by saying, "You need to know this so that you can speak English correctly." They already speak English correctly. It's about writing and reading English, silly. We all speak English, unless it's an ELL class. Even then they speak English. It's just reading and writing English. Silly. Without proper English, you won't be able to get a decent job. When you grow up, fax, no printer. This, of course, does not appease the student. He fails to see the, relevance of pronouns in his life today. Okay. When this exercise is completed, Teacher A goes over the correct answers with the class. This, of course, is followed by exercise B. And finally, the dreaded worksheet on pronouns. The test, not surprisingly, will be on Friday. The fact is that most of the students will probably pass the test. However, do any of the students know how their own lives, would be drastically affected were pronouns to be removed from the language? Do they even know why pronouns exist? Yes, they can state that a pronoun takes the place of a noun, but do they know why? Not unless they've figured this out on their own, and most have not. Now, let's take a look at a very different kind of lesson, also on pronouns. This lesson occurs in the classroom of Teacher B. Are you ready? Are you ready for this mic drop moment Teacher B is about to throw down? Huh? I don't think so. I don't think you're ready. Okay. I'm not ready. I'm tired. I did not sleep enough hours last night because I stayed up till 5 in the morning. Never a good idea. Never a good idea. Okay. Teacher B smiles enthusiastically and says, I've written a list of words on the whiteboard, and we're going to try not to use any of these words. What a fun and interesting game. Note that he doesn't. Oh, it's a he. Teacher B is a man. Is Teacher A a woman? Is this sexist? I want to know. Ha! She is a woman! This is hilarious. I'm dead. Okay. Okay. Note that he doesn't yet mention the textbook, the term pronouns, or anything else of that matter. Instead, he asks Paul. So tell me who's this Paul? Paul. Okay. Instead, he asks Paul to tell something about himself without using any of the words on the board. The words on the board, of course, are pronouns. Obvi. Like a bag of Takis. Okay. Paul begins by saying, I'd like to. Oh, I like to, not I'd like to. And Teacher B stops him immediately saying, Sir, you used the word I, which is on the board. Crazy. Paul, sorry, I didn't pronounce it correctly. Paul thinks to himself. No, he does not think to himself. That's a me thing. Paul thinks about it, and can't seem to figure out how to say something about himself without using the word I. Teacher B then says, Paul, I'll give you a little time to figure it out, while Beth gives it a shot. Beth, of course, begins struggling also. The teacher then explains that the students must refer to themselves by name or by self. You just say, Self enjoys TV. Self goes to the marketplace for some agua and cheese. I don't know why. I don't understand. I don't understand my own brain. Okay. Let's see here. Something about a name. Yeah. He provides an example, and the students seem to understand, but they laugh because calling themselves by their own name sounds awkward. Students are then instructed to compose one sentence telling something about themselves without using any of the words on the board, which are pronouns, in case you didn't get it. The students then read their sentences aloud. They anxiously participate. Next, the teacher projects a short paragraph onto the whiteboard right beside the pronouns already written on the board and says, let's find all of the words in the paragraph that are also listed to the right of the paragraph. I don't know what I just read. On the board, and let's cross them out. The words they cross out must then be replaced with the words that are not on the board. I don't know what any of this means. In other words, I needed the other words. They have to replace the pronouns with the nouns that the pronouns were replacing. However, the terms pronouns and nouns have not yet been used by the teacher. Oh my. It's a secret. He's keeping it from his students. I don't know if that's ethically appropriate, but it does build suspense, doesn't it? They've not been used yet by the teacher. The paragraph, of course, sounds awkward once the pronouns have been replaced. And now, on to the next activity. Boy, howdy. Please notice how brief each activity is. This keeps it interesting, and it keeps the lesson moving quickly. For this activity, one student is to begin telling something about himself to the class in a conversational way. He is to attempt to avoid using any of the words, the pronouns on the board. If and when he does, the class shouts, "Stop!" And another student gets a chance. How very intriguing. You see, it has already become obvious to the students that these words, whatever they are necessary to our language. No, they are not necessary to our language. They are convenient for certain types of communication, indeed. But cavemen speak is enough. It is. It truly is. Okay. Let's see here. Necessary. Without them, it would be very awkward to speak or to write, or to even think for that matter. Only if you believe in awkwardness, only if you feel embarrassment, only if you haven't let yourself be yourself, and if you haven't let yourself experience emotion as they come up, if you haven't explored the range of human emotion and found acceptance, that's the only reason you would feel awkward. You can speak caveman. That's not awkward. It's just a different form of communication. People speak caveman all the time when they're learning new languages. I speak less than caveman in Korean. I don't know anything yet. And it's perfectly fine. It's just awkward if you are a person who feels awkward, and that's a you problem. That's what I believe. Anyways, enough about me. Discuss how... Finally, the teacher does tell the class that these words are called pronouns. Oh, the suspense is over. We finally know what they're called. And that pronouns take the place of nouns. Oh, wow. He has the students explain what just happened, the preceding activities, and discuss how awkward it was to not use these pronouns. So, why do you think we have pronouns in our language? He asks the teacher. No, that would be weird, because he is the teacher. Language, asks the teacher. Any student in the classroom has already figured out that pronouns don't just take the place of nouns for the sake of taking the place of nouns, but rather they make the language flow smoothly and sound less awkward. The fact is that all of our lives would be drastically affected were pronouns to be taken out of the language. We would have trouble completing a sentence, much less getting our points across to others. I think not. I think we would all adapt quite well. But it would be hard not to use them, but if all of a sudden they just didn't exist, we would be fine. We would be fine. Okay. So why do you think we have pronouns in our language? Asks the teacher. Any student... Oh, I already read this. I already read all of it. Question. Do you see the difference that it makes once students know how a skill they are learning affects their lives? If something seems relevant to us, we become interested. And once we are interested, we are more apt to learn whatever it is that is relevant. Please understand that we are in no way opposed to the use of textbooks. Teacher B actually went on to use one of the exercises in the textbook after he established the real-life relevance of pronouns. To attempt to teach anything to anyone without establishing real-life connection is practically futile. And that is one of the keys to what sets the very best teachers part from the rest. They relate all lessons to the real lives of their students today. We stress the word today because many teachers, like teacher A, explain to their students that the skill will be important someday when they're grown. Children cannot relate to someday. Even high school seniors are capable of thinking only as far as the future of Friday night. Incorrect. Seniors have anxiety for the future. The Friday night is to distract them from the impending doom and existential crisis of the future that they do think about. They do. Silly, silly. So, make your lessons exciting and inviting by relating what you teach to the students' lives today. Part 2. Okay. At this point, as I've read a chapter, I must review my questions that I wrote down so that I know that I am thinking about what I'm supposed to be thinking about, because probably I'm not. Okay. 1. Select one new skill you will teach in your content area. What exciting way could you connect this lesson and its activities to your students' lives? I need to read that again because I did not hear it. It did not compute. Select one new skill you will teach in your content area. What exciting way could you connect this lesson and its activities to students' lives? I don't know. Maybe it'll make sense later. Do a web search for new ideas to increase activity student active, not activity. This is why I should read my own handwriting. Describe at least 2 engagement strategies that you think would work for you in your content area. What are your thoughts on the following statement? Effective teachers refuse to believe that there is any such thing as a student who is incapable of succeeding and achieving. I already know that one. I understand. I don't know why I'm talking like this. I think it's like the voice of like the principal in the Lizzie McGuire movie. Like sneaky little brown noser with hidden agenda. I think that's what's happening. I don't know why that's happening, but it is. Okay. That there is any such thing as a student who is incapable of succeeding and achieving. We know that. Okay. Describe 2 specific ways technology can enhance your teaching in your content area. Summarize the various testing methods you prefer to assess student learning. Share at least 2 dual and provide rationale as to why this is an effective assessment, which I shortened with caveman speak, because you can use caveman speak to communicate. What are the 8 tips for appropriate pacing? We will read the question later. 8 tips for appropriate something of lessons. What are 2 warning signs your lesson is moving too slowly? List the 5 steps to follow when teaching a new skill or concept. Okay, well, I don't know. They don't relate really a ton to the first one, unless the skills that they're talking about is specifically like that skill that we read about. I don't know what the skills mean. That hopefully will come to me as I continue reading. What are skills? What specifically skills? There's so many skills. We're talking about pronouns. It's not a skill. It's not a skill we're talking about. We're talking about relating it to their lives. That's probably what it is. Yeah, how to teach for real life. Skill number 1. I'm going to pretend that that's what it is. 'Cause hopefully that's probably what it is. Okay, part 2. How to ensure active student involvement. What is this voice? Is it because I'm angry? I feel like that's my angry voice. I'm internally angry that I have no time to do homework. That's probably where it's coming from. I think her name's Mrs. Undermeyer. Sounds wrong to me, but I feel like it's right. I don't know. Anyways, how to ensure active student involvement. Maybe the phrase active student involvement should be changed to intentional student involvement. Yeah, intention. Life is about intention. Manifestation is about intention. Prayer is about intention. Everything in life is about intention, bro. The words that you say don't matter. The intention you had behind the words that you say matters. Everything is about intention. That's my hypothesis about life. Let us explain. In any given classroom, if students are present, there is active student involvement. However, in some classrooms, students are actively involved in daydreaming, actively involved in sleeping, actively involved in their discussions with one another regarding their latest hair braiding technique, actively involving no, actively involved in practicing their latest hair braiding technique. You get the picture. These types of active student involvement, we firmly believe, are never intentional on the parts of teachers in whose classrooms they take place, unless they are. Some teachers are just like, can't be bothered. Do you? You know? I've been in those classrooms. All teachers would like to see their students actively engaged in meaningful, purposeful learning. That is cute that you think that. I'm glad that you have hope in all teachers. So why is it not commonplace in most classrooms? The reason is that not all teachers are doing what the most effective teachers are doing. That, of course, is our intention. There's that word again. In writing this book, to share with all teachers what works based on the successes of the most effective teachers. And so, regarding active student involvement, the most effective teachers plan lessons and activities that involve their students in every part of the lesson. Yes, the students do the doing. Those that do the doing do the learning. Get it in your heads, bro. Okay. And that is intentional. Active student involvement is neither an accident nor a welcome surprise. The most effective teachers plan specific questions. They will ask their students. They anticipate student questions. They determine how their students, based on life experiences, will best be able to relate to and understand the new skills being taught. And they plan activities that will cause students to think, to reason, to analyze, to question, and finally to understand. Note: active intentional student involvement is not reserved for elementary classrooms. Learning is an active process, regardless of age, but typically the higher the grade level, the less active student involvement we tend to see in the classroom. Oh, I wonder why. This is a mistake, as it is not true. Welcome home. Does my music bother you? Does me aggressively reading aloud my textbook bother you? Sweet. Sounds good. I don't know why, but I've been reading like the principal from the Lizzie McGuire movie, and I don't know why that accent is coming out, but it is. Yeah. No. Active, intentional student involvement is not reserved for elementary classrooms. Learning is an active process, regardless of age, but typically the higher the grade level, the less active student involvement we tend to see in the classroom. This is a mistake, as it is not true that to prepare students for college or for real life 21st century learners, we need to give copious amounts of notes and have them read ridiculously long amounts of text on their own. And of course, it is not to say that all secondary teachers' classrooms lack active, intentional student involvement. However, in far too many classrooms, from elementary through secondary, there is a definite lack of such engagement. Again, it's one of those, again, it's one of those, I can't read this in the correct tense. Again, it's one of the factors separating the most effective teachers from the less effective ones. Walk into an effective teacher's classroom, and you will rarely see students seated. Package, probably. Silently doing busy work. Instead, you will both sense and see excitement, questioning, individual and group problem solving, and so forth. Conversely, in the classrooms of less effective teachers, the air seems heavy and the classroom seems lifeless.
Thank you.
Oftentimes, these teachers blame the lack of activity on the students or the material. These students can't handle activity. I don't know what I just read. Oftentimes, these teachers blame the lack of activity on the students or the material. These students can't handle activity. They argue, they talk, and things get totally out of hand. Or the subject matter that I teach does not lend itself to activity. Well, given that our beliefs become our realities, it stands to reason that teachers' classrooms are sorely lacking in active student engagement. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we should probably add another explanation for lack of activity. That's the way I learned, and I survived it. Consider this. In days long past, anesthetic consisted of a bullet and a bottle of whiskey. That, of course, was not wrong or bad in those days, but there was not a better way. And though the pain was excruciating, people actually did survive. Today, of course, if you went to the operating room and were handed a bullet and a bottle of whiskey, you would run out into the street with no consideration being given to your less than appropriate attire. That, of course, is because you know that there is a better way. And so it is in teaching. We know a better way. And thanks to today's technological advances, teachers have unlimited access to free resources on the web and can share their own ideas with countless teachers worldwide. A sample internet search on any type of skill in any subject area will lead you instantly to more ideas, lesson plans, suggestions, and activities not designated, to maximize student engagement than you can possibly ever use. Part 3. I want to know how much longer I have. It's going to take 700 years. Okay. So it ends on page 60. And I'm on page 50. So we got 10 pages left. Yay. Dude, it's already been an hour. I only read 2 chapters. It's fine. It's fine. How to ensure success for all students. Any effective teacher will agree that if you want a student to succeed, then you have to first make him feel successful. At first glance, this may seem contradictory, but in actuality, it's not. It goes along with the old adage, success breeds success. The most effective teachers refuse to believe that there is any such thing as a student not capable of succeeding and achieving. They never give up on any student. In fact, the students who appear to be the least successful always get the most attention and the most patience from the most effective teachers. I don't know what I just read. The most effective teachers refuse to believe that there is any such thing as a student not capable of succeeding and achieving. They never give up on any student. In fact, the students who appear to be the least successful always get the most attention and the most patience. Yeah, from the most effective teachers. Conversely, in the classroom of less effective teachers, these are the same students who are often ignored. The reason for this, we believe, is simply that these teachers do not know how to help these students succeed. So, how do you help any student become successful? You teach at his or her level. Are we opening that can of worms again? No, we're simply stating fact. And the fact is that the only level at which anyone can learn is his or her own level. We have always been baffled by educated people who argue whether we should teach students at grade level or at their level. Again, you can only learn at one person's level, and that is your own, which makes sense. Oh, okay. Oh, gosh, shift positions so I don't die. Okay. Consider learning a language that is foreign to you. I'm doing that. I know. You are placed in a classroom of students who are advanced learners quite fluent in the language. That's my nightmare. You, on the other hand, are an absolute novice. That is true. Thus, you will eventually realize that no matter how hard you try, you will not be successful in learning and speaking the language. Because you have missed its very foundation, you will soon do one of two things. She will admit to everything, or she'll say it's just not the same, and you'll begin to wonder why you came. One of two things. Either you will zone out or you will become a behavior problem. Those are the two options. After all, what else is there to do? I was the zone out, but I didn't understand. I didn't do behavior problems. I did the zone out. Or you will become a behavior problem. After all, what else is there to do when you just don't understand anything that is being said or done in the classroom? Imagine, however, that the teacher recognized your lack of skill in speaking this language and thus altered your activities to ensure success. By teaching you the basics of the language, the teacher would ensure some immediate success for you. And because success is gratifying, you would want to work even harder to achieve even more success. That our fellow educators is just plain good teaching. That's just plain good teaching. Yep. As teachers, we understand that it is not easy to meet the needs of so many students at so many levels at one time. That, of course, is why effective teaching is truly an art. It is never easy, but it is always rewarding, but not with money. Of this section, we will discuss some ideas for incorporating technology that will help to make teaching students at their own level easier and more effective. The bottom line is that there is simply no other way to teach students than at their own levels. As teachers, it is our responsibility and our purpose to do whatever it takes to ensure success for each of our students, not most of them. So, teach a student at his level, and in his success, you both will revel, and that success will lead to another, a better way. There is no other. There's a lot of random poetry in this book that exists. I'm a fan. I do like poetry, but it is random. It is random. Part 4, how to incorporate technology effectively. Technology, I love technology, but not as much as you see, but I still love technology always and forever. Our love shall be. Is indisputably the main artery to the heart of today's world. It is woven into almost every aspect of our lives. So it's no longer an option for teachers to say, I'm just no good with technology. That's akin to saying, I'm just no good at teaching today's students. That's pretty good. Because today's students are surrounded by technology far beyond their video games and smartphones. If we're going to teach today's learners and prepare them for today's and tomorrow's world, we have to continually learn to utilize technology appropriately and integrate it effectively into our lessons. Follows a list of only a few ways that effective teachers incorporate technology into their classrooms. It is in no way all-inclusive, and we have intentionally refrained from sharing particular websites, software programs, etc., because we do not want to favor one over the other. There's just too much good stuff out there, and most of it is free. Lies. Gone are the days of lacking for creative ideas in teaching. I meant lies specifically about software. I download a lot of software. Anyways, ways to incorporate teaching technology in a classroom. Set up a class webpage to share what's going on in the classroom, to communicate with parents, to post information on upcoming assignments, projects, etc. Possibilities are endless. I am quite obsessed with websites. I make them for everything. Create digital flashcards. Quizlet is life. Send students on virtual scavenger hunts, because why not? Have students communicate with one another in classrooms almost everywhere in the world through video conferencing, because that's fun. Utilize online graph makers, map makers, rubric creators, mind map creators, etc., because Canva is fun. Use free online software that allows students to write stories, adding digital illusions, videos, narration, etc. Yeah. I'm theater, so I don't know. I feel like we would just do it. But when I did online theater, we did it with AI puppets. That was fun. Access, it was not free though. Access free online learning games available in all subject areas. Have students participate in online goal setting and progress tracking. Use virtual manipulatives to teach math concepts. Utilize online interactive leveled texts to provide practice for students at various reading levels. Create games in any subject utilizing online software for the purpose of review, remediation, or meaningful practice for early finishers. Allow students to do online projects, create slide presentations, and conduct internet research, because Google Slides is life. Encourage students to use digital encyclopedias, thesauruses, and dictionaries, because is there any other kind? Access free online game shows designed for student learning in all subject areas. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Conduct online surveys. Have students create digital books, director's books, create digital interactive posters, maps, and more. Fun. Set up a digital photo frame with pictures of your students involved in learning tasks. These photos can be updated as often as you like. I like that. I also like the idea of like studying scenes in K-dramas, just like always playing inspirational studying. Let's see here. Create digital comic strips. I've done physical comic strips with students. Digital comic strips works too. It's just hard to draw. There's ways though, but it's not free. It's not free. Access free online lesson plans and activities in any subject area. Utilize free online class polling. Allow students to blog or create podcasts, which is a good time. Use interactive whiteboards because it's fun. Show students how to take digital notes because that's what they're going to do for the rest of their lives. Tour virtual museums because why not? Go on virtual field trips anywhere on Earth and into outer space, but with VR because obviously that's the answer. Duh. VR and projectors. We could figure something out. Yeah. Again, this is the only. No, that's not grammar. Again, this is only a small sampling of ideas for incorporating technology into your teaching. The key, of course, is to use it in a way that actually enhances learning. Don't use technology for the sake of using it. Use it for the sake of effectiveness, efficiency, and enhancement of teaching and learning. Avi, like a bag of Takis. We're legit because we're not explicit. Yeah. Part 5, how to align teaching and testing. I am bored. I'm tired. I don't think I will be able to retain any of the following information unless I take a brain break. So we're going to do that because that's what we do in my online middle school. Well, the good teacher does. She does brain breaks. Probably just because she needs water. I need water. Bruv, I'll be back. Oh.
I've got a little can't think of the slap you wasted time with chit chat. You got so gifted, all you got time to make it, take it. Sunday 요즘 없는 마음인지 마치도 봐 멋지게 감타타타고 왔네 now. 내 입술에서 생각하며 기다려봤다 나의 눈이지 맞추는 순간 잠에서 그냥 찾아와 전혀 다른지 너의 눈을 나 해봐 난 이렇게 달리는 같은 눈이다 아직 모르는 나를 내게 너를 불려와 나에게서부터 처럼 너의 이상형 찾아봐줄 테니 그렇잖아 내가 되게 해줄 테니 I can't stop thinking about you 나는 거야 No I can't stop thinking about you 내 우리함에 가고 싶어 날 공격하니 날 이길 순 없어 너에게 보여준 내제 내가 자리 속에 수많은 반지를 줄게 그 주인이 네가 내게 해줄 테니 Cause I can't stop thinking about you 너와 함께 있고 싶어 Can't stop thinking about you. 난 여기 두고 가버리지 마. Cause I can't stop thinking about you. I can't stop thinking about you. 너의 낯선 옆에서 주먹을 안 대고 바라보는 그 눈빛에 시작을 이었지 우려보면 소용없을 때도 없이 넌 향해 달달해 갈수 있어 너 이미 어디 뭐라 별거 정말 기대했다 해도 이미 게임은 시작되는 걸 잘 알고 이제 너의 남자는 바로 나라고 안가랑에만 Cause I can't stop thinking about you 너와 함께 있고 싶어 I can't stop thinking about you 가버리지 마 Cause I can't stop thinking about you No, I can't stop thinking about you 가고 싶어 Cause I can't stop No, I can't stop Cause I can't stop
I'm coming, I'm coming. I don't really know where to put my water. It's probably on a stove. 사랑해 바니 바니 사랑해 뚜뚜뚜 Okay. First, I'm going to check the family group chat. I have 8 messages. One of them is from Factor, who just keeps texting me. Okay, but I haven't taken the time to unsubscribe, so it's my own fault. This guy, don't know what's up with him. I need to actually cut my hair. Because nothing is blended. It's all just chopped. Aww. The fam. Oh, my Nana, her hair. It's so cute. I guess I should probably pause the music. That's a good idea. So I can actually listen. Oh, desperado. Good cowboys are safe from burning heck. It's my beautiful family. Aren't they so cute? Love them. That's what we call a jam session. They're in LaSalle without me because I had to do homework and work. It's depressing. I'm in depression. It's fine.
Really? Hi, baby. Hi.
It's my niece.
I love you, sweetheart. Hi, baby girl.
She's just smiling. It's so cute.
What? Were you supposed to take a nap? But you didn't, huh? You didn't.
What a savage.
You can smile for mama. Can you smile? Can you
Aww.
give me a big smile?
So cute.
I love you. Hi, sis. Hi.
Oh my goodness. That is so cute. I would show you, but like rude. Okay. Gotta heart them messages so they know I care about them in the depths of my depression. They went to a movie like where they filmed the movie like Horizon because it's in LaSalle. It's so cool looking. I was just like, wish I was there. But it's fine. I'm fine. Okay. I need different music because early 2000s is a lot, you know, energetically. I think we're going to switch to some lullabies, some BTS lullabies. Okay. Like a lullaby. That's what I call the playlist, is like a lullaby, because I'm funny. Instead of like a butterfly, it's like a lullaby. I'm so hilarious. So funny. No. There we go. Click on that guy. Then where is the shuffle button? Woot. Let's go. Sweet dreams of the hour. Never sleep alone. I just wanna love you like that. Let's see here. We have, but it's not time. It's not time for homework. I'm still on a break. So we don't need music yet. What was I even thinking? What was I even doing? Okay. play a song or two, I guess. Get my creative brain active so that I can think again. Sweet dreams come after hours. Okay. I'm going to start again at 3:10, the latest. Okay. Bruh. Basically tuned perfect. Didn't even need to do that. I say basically. That's an important distinction. Distinction. Okay. Guitar tabs that I never use because I don't understand a bunch of chords, just 4 of them. Technically like 9 probably. But it feels like 4 still. I don't want to log in though. Okay. If I log in, that might be to the wrong account. I'll have apps. Which is rude. Maybe we're not going to do songs. We're just going to do whatever the heck comes to mind. Which means that I'm going to use a capo because it makes me more capable. Because I'm hilarious. Okay. Drew looks at me. I fake a smile so he won't see. I can't even see anyone when he's with me. I mean, she's beautiful. The girl he talks about. She got everything that I have to live without. Drew walks by me. I laugh cause she's so funny. I can't even see anyone when he's with me. I mean, she's beautiful. No. I don't really know what that girl he talks about. So I think about a night. Is the reason for the teardrops in my guitar. The only thing that keeps me wishing I wish a star is the song in the car. Keep singing, don't know why I do. Yeah, maybe I do need songs. At least lyrics. Sweet dreams come after hours. I just wanna love you like that. Love you like that. Like a butterfly, like a butterfly, butterfly, you know. But I try to move the beauty I don't know. I'd have to read the Romanized version. I don't need that. 소화기 너의 숨소리 네 바디를 내게 발레줘. Okay. We're gonna do this and then we're done. didn't do this, because that's English. I stepped into the snow with my special boots and snow pants. They kept me warm against the stinging chill. Far from me was my brother, with his cold hands behind his back, and in his eyes there danced a joyous thrill. Threw snowballs till we cried, and then we rushed inside to the heater and hot chocolate. And in our home, in her arms, I felt safe. With smiles and laughter, charity and faith. We packed into the blue truck. I don't think I know the song. 1 second. I wrote the song, by the way. I just don't know the first words. Ah, that's it. We trudged across the mountain. I complained under my breath. The wooden pieces felt so heavy then. We packed them in the blue truck, traveled home sleeping like death, and in a train we stacked them up again. And he slept by the fire so the flames wouldn't die out. He kept us warm night after night, and in our home, in his arms, I felt safe. With smiles and laughter, charity and faith. We gathered round the guitar, we'd all sing and sis would dance as Mama organized the perfect day. They would tell us stories of a baby who became a man, the man who came to wash our sins away. Train tracks under the tree, lights and cherry cheese cream. Oh, I'm spiritual in need. And in our home, in their arms, I felt safe. With smiles and laughter, charity and faith. And in our home, in their arms, I felt safe. With smiles and laughter, charity and faith. Okay, there's that. There is the brain break that I needed.
of the night. Lay down in my mind. Leave all the rest to me.
Sweet dreams come after us.
There's nothing like what diamonds necklace on you, girl. I just wanna love you right, love you right, love you right, yeah, yeah. Love you right, love you right, love you right, yeah, yeah. Love you right, love you right, love you right, yeah, yeah. Love you right, love you right, love you right, yeah. She never stay belong. She'll always take you home. There's nothing like what diamonds necklace on you, girl. You give it my body with my heart and my soul. You light up my life like a diamond. Shine, shine, shine. Yeah. And we will never get to sleep tonight. I give you everything you need tonight. This kind of love I guarantee for life. Drink love is sweet tonight. Sweet dreams come after hours. Nothing else will grow. We should never sleep alone. We should never take you home. Till there's nothing like my diamond necklace on you, girl. I just wanna love you right. Love you right, love you right, yeah, yeah. Love you right, love you right, love you right, yeah, yeah. Love you right, love you right, love you right, yeah, yeah. Love you right, love you right, love you right, yeah. We should never sleep alone. We should always take you home. There's nothing like what diamond necklace on you, girl. 이 기적이 아닌 기적으로 우리가 만든 걸까 난 여기 있고 네가 내게 다가와 준 거 지금 이게 갤럭시 듣고 싶은 너와 멜로디 널 보는 한숨이 없는 너의 하늘과 너 저기 숨을 쉬는 절망 끝에 그리고 내가 널 찾아 스위치와 넌 절벽 끝에 서있던 내 마지막 길이야 내가 내게 싫은 날 너의 사라지고 싶은 날 너의 목소리 문을 열고 들어가면 이것이 기다릴 거야 너도 괜찮아 너 필요해진 내 식사 괜찮은 마시고 작은 모습을 안고 보면 괜찮을 거야 거기 내 식사 항상 즐거운 되고 싶어 그래서 공격 전후에서 그냥 내가 비경지게 쌓이 레벨을 더 옆에 열심히 해라 절고 목소리도 그냥 나는 노래 기본 사실은 나는 즐거운 되고 싶어 그것이 아닌 것만 같아 우리로 하던 놈이 되고 싶었었던 나 기대에서 꿈만큼 너도 되고 싶은 내게 싫은 날 너무 사라지고 싶은 날 오늘 하나만 더 너의 맘속에 닿아 문을 열고 들어가면 이곳이 기다릴 거야 믿어도 괜찮아 너 필요해져 내 식사 어떻게 찾아가는 마시고 자꾸만 술을 얼마나 괜찮을 거야 거기 내 식사
I know. I said 3 times, but I was more hungry than I thought. Oh. I love popcorn, but it tears up my mouth. Like the sharp kernels. Just paper cuts. Oh yeah. I keep thinking this is the other side of my face because it's opposite on this camera. Okay. This probably means that we need to switch playlists to invest. Too much English. Okay, what are we doing? We're reading yet another chapter. Actually, I should probably switch back. Which did that one? Sweet. Okay. Chapter 5. It's not actually chapter 5. It's part 5 of chapter 3, I guess. Part 5. How to align teaching and testing. Riveting stuff. One of the best kept secrets of the most effective teachers is that they test only what they teach. We repeat that. They test only what they teach. And to add to that recipe for success, they test what they have taught in the same way they have taught it. Wow, how novel. What an interesting idea. Okay, probably harder to do than it sounds, but this may seem oversimplified, but the fact remains that not all teachers actually test the same things that they teach in the same ways that they have taught them. Oh, I know that. First, let's discuss testing what we teach. Imagine you are a student in a classroom. On a Monday, you begin a new reading story. Throughout the course of the week, you define the vocabulary words assigned by the teacher. You read the story silently. Your class suffers through the typical round-robin reading, where the entire story is read orally. You answer the story questions, you discuss the story, and so on. Question: what has been taught? What new reading strategies have you learned? And let's, for the sake of argument, say that you actually have been taught the skill for identifying the main idea as you read. Your test, of course, is on Friday. And on Friday's test, you match the vocabulary words to their definitions and you answer the typical questions such as, who was the author of the story? Where did the story take place? Who was the main character? What problem did the main character face? How was the problem resolved? Now, because you studied the notes and heard the answers to these questions all week, you memorized the answers and did a good job of it. Good enough to make an A on the reading test. But even if you are a poor reader, it is not true that you could have aced that test by, is it not true that you could have aced that test by studying extra hard? In other words, that was not really a reading test, it was a remembering test. And where on the test did you identify the main idea? Wouldn't you have to read unfamiliar text to demonstrate your knowledge of that skill or any other? The story was provided initially to help you learn and practice one or more. Oh, I already listened to this one. Okay. Wouldn't you have to read unfamiliar text to demonstrate your knowledge of that skill or any other? The story was provided initially to help you learn and practice one or more new reading skills. But to use the same story on the test is not aligning teaching and testing. What? The story was provided initially to help you learn and practice one or more new reading skills. But to use the same the story was provided initially to help you learn and practice one or more new reading skills, but to use the same story on the test is not aligning teaching and testing. This, of course, is only one example, but you get the idea. The fact remains that many teachers test reading this way, but they're not actually testing reading. Now, let's take a look at testing the way we teach. Note that testing the way we teach is different from simply testing what we teach. Okay. A teacher recently gave her students a list of vocabulary words to memorize. The students were to find the definitions in the dictionary and copy the definitions in their notes. The class as a group went over the definitions with the teacher, and then on the test, the directions were to use each of the words in a sentence. Many students, of course, did not do well on the test. Is it any wonder? You see, not once had the words actually been used in class. The definitions were simply memorized, and the teacher assumed that the students, once they had the definitions memorized, would be able to transfer their knowledge to actually using the words. Huge mistake. Okay. Salt. If you want your students to do something on a test, then teach them how to do it. Practice doing it with them. Have them practice on their own while you monitor, and then test them in the same way that they have been practicing whatever it is that you have taught in the same way that you have taught it. That, in a nutshell, is what the most effective teachers do differently from everyone else. Think of it this way. If you took swimming lessons with the objective, of course, being that you would learn to swim, and you were seated with your classmates in rows beside the pool, and you defined all of the swimming vocabulary words, and then listened to the lecture on swimming, and then read the chapter on swimming, and then answered the questions at the end of the chapter on swimming, and then watched your teacher model swimming, and then watched a video on swimming, and then studied all the notes and memorized them, and for your test were asked to actually swim, could you do it? Notice that even though the teacher talked about swimming all week and taught you the vocabulary, the names and the different strokes and so forth, and actually modeled swimming for you, the way that you were tested was nothing like what you had been taught. Learning the rules and terminology of swimming is not the same as actually swimming. And that's why students drown every day in some teachers' classrooms. So remember, align what you teach with what you test, and you'll get from the students their very best. Poetry again. Part 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages left. We're cruising. Okay. How to pace your lessons appropriately. Part of the secret of effective instruction is making sure that your lessons move along at a quick yet appropriate pace. A new teacher was told by her principal that she needed to pick up her pace while teaching. The next time the principal observed, the teacher spoke so quickly that neither the students nor the principal could understand what she was saying. Thank goodness the principal realized what had happened and clarified what he meant by picking up the pace. If someone tells you to pick up the pace, does it not mean that you should speak really fast? Sorry. I'm not reading any of this correctly, but it doesn't mean that you should speak fast. It means that your lessons activities should move along so that students remain involved and actively engaged and do not zone out. When a lesson is paced appropriately, things move quickly, students are active, and there is never a dull moment or an empty moment with nothing to do. Everything simply flows along smoothly, and you can feel it flowing. Even the best teachers will tell you, however, that this skill takes some practice. But once you get the feel for a well-paced lesson, you soon become proficient. Here are a few tips to let you know if your lesson is appropriately paced. So these questions are in the quiz so I need to remember where they are. Let's see. The students appear interested. Your voice sounds enthusiastic. You actually feel enthusiastic while teaching. You move quickly from one activity to the next, but never so quickly that you leave students in the dust. It's a very fine line. I was always left in the dust, especially in English classes and math classes. If students do not understand, you immediately do some reteaching. Your transitions from one activity to the next move quickly in an orderly way. The time seems to fly by, and the bell has rung before you know it. Students seem to understand what you are teaching. Conversely, these are the no-nos. You observe dull, blank stares of boredom from students. You feel bored. The lesson feels like it's dragging along. Students lack enthusiasm during the activities. The air in the room feels heavy. Some students are, or at least appear to be, sleeping. Your head jerks, and you are suddenly awake and embarrassed, and the good news is that no one notices. Remember, they're also sleeping. Seriously, practice pacing the lesson to get the feel of it. Video yourself if necessary. But the best way to judge whether your lesson is paced appropriately is by simply observing the behaviors of your students. Bottom line, they'll let you know if you go too slow, as looks on their faces will be empty places. Rhyming again. If you go too fast, they'll show their frustration. But get it just right, and you'll see concentration. Their faces tell all, so look and you'll know if your lesson is paced appropriately. So, Part 7. How to teach anything to anyone. How profound. I didn't know you could learn how to do that in 2 pages, but apparently you can. Are you ready? The most effective teachers know this. If you are going to teach anything to anyone, you must establish a relationship between the new skill and the student's real life. Teach and model the new skill, practice the new skill with the student, allow the student to try the new skill on his or her own, and review over and over, providing as much guidance and practice as necessary. That's it. This is nothing new. This is not rocket science. Its effectiveness has been proven time and time again. Yet many teachers do not follow these simple steps in teaching. And it is truly one of the determining factors in separating the most effective teachers from the less effective ones. So here it is, plainly and simply. First step. It's been called the introduction, the anticipatory set, the task focus, and so on. We really don't care what you call it as long as you do it. This is where you secure the student's attention, the hook, and relate the skill to their real lives so that they will actually want to learn what you will be teaching, as discussed in part 1 of this chapter. Much interaction and discussion should take place here, as opposed to the teacher simply reading the objective to the students and telling them why they need the skill. Next, you will actually teach the new skill. And please do not ever forget to model the skill for the students. Teaching involves much more than just telling. After you have taught the new skill, practice it with the students. Most of us know that as guided practice, in which the teacher and students practice together. So guided practice. That's right. The teacher practices with the students, monitoring constantly for understanding. During this part of the lesson, you'll get a really good sense of who understands and who is still struggling. If everyone seems to be struggling, you will immediately know to do some reteaching. But if it appears that most, if not all, of the students understand, you can move on. to the next logical step, which is to let them try the new skill on their own. At this point, you will either be monitoring while they practice independently, or you'll be working with more guided practice with a few students who are not yet ready for independent practice. And of course, don't forget to review what has been learned. How do you go about this? We always suggest that you plan some type of activity that allows students to tell or show you what they have learned, as opposed to the teacher telling or showing them what they have learned. And that's it. That's how to teach anything to anyone. It can be applied to teaching someone to drive, to cook, to ski, to swim, to tie shoelaces, to write a paragraph, to analyze patterns, to follow the steps of the scientific method, or use any electronic device or anything else. Again, this is not rocket science. Imagine that your young child is going off to summer camp. You know that he will be taught how to use matches, yet you definitely want to teach him that lesson before somebody else teaches him. So wouldn't it make sense that you would sit with your child and tell him what he'll be learning and why he will be learning it, relating it, of course, to the fact that he will be learning to use matches at camp soon, so you're teaching him in advance. 2, actually teach him to use the matches, not by telling him, but by modeling the skill and by discussing the proper uses of matches and improper uses of matches and so on. You would 3, guide him and practice with him as you hold his hand first. Once he becomes successful enough with your guidance, you would 4, give him a have him try the new skill on his own as you monitor. And finally 5, for closure, review and discuss the new skill, allowing him to demonstrate once again what he knows. There it is, just effective teaching. There is no step that can be justifiably skipped. It should look no different in the classroom, yet it often does. Teachers have 1 or 2 steps left out, where they send the students off to try a new skill on their own without proper guided practice, or they tell something that should be done without actually modeling it for the students. Again, it's one of the major differences between effective and less effective teachers. More rhyming. Introduce the new skill and get my attention, as this will increase my chance of retention. Then tell me about it and show me as well. By showing me how my fears you will quell. Then guide me along as I try the new skill, helping me to reach the top of the hill, and then let me try independently, but don't be so far that you can't see. And once I've got it, you've opened the door. So now let's review it once, twice, or more. Secret 3 chapter summary. This is the summary of everything that we have learned in this chapter of The Secret. Regarding effective instruction, remember the following. Relate everything you teach to the real lives of your students. Plan lessons and activities that will actively involve your students. Make all students successful by teaching them at their level and then moving them forward. Utilize technology appropriately and integrate it effectively into your lessons. Test only what you teach. Test in the same way that you've taught. Pace your lessons such that activities move quickly, students remain active, and there is never any downtime when students have nothing to do. Follow the basic steps we've outlined for teaching anything to anyone. O'clock, and you're gonna be happy. Okay, 7 questions to ask yourself, which I assume are questions that are possible in the test. Answering these questions will help you to determine whether you have mastered this particular secret. Even if you have not yet mastered it, you may find that you're almost there, that you require a little more effort in only 1 or 2 areas. Do I ensure that I teach all skills in a way that relates to the lives of my students? Do I teach each lesson in a way that is designed to maximize intentional student involvement? Do I realize that any student can only learn at his level and then teach him in that way? Do I remain current with today's technology and use it to enhance teaching and learning? Do I test what I have taught in a way that is constant with the way that popcorn, bro, that I have taught it, and in the same way that students have practiced it? Do I teach at a pace where activities move quickly and smoothly, students remain actively involved, and there is never a lull or empty segment of time where students have nothing to do? Do I teach and model new skills and provide ample time for students to practice and become successful with my guidance before they try the new skills independently? Okay. We done did it, folks. We read it. It has been readed. Next, I will take my test. I don't know. I don't know if it's like ethical to be live during a test. Technically, you've already seen the test, but like I didn't give you my answers, so like no cheating could happen, I guess. So that's fine, in my opinion. But I can't show you my answers. I don't think it matters. And I'm trying to get in late, so everybody else in my class should have taken it already. So it's not like I'm giving spoilers, but I think I will end the stream and hop back on at a more appropriate time. Peace. The world is round.